2 weeks, we walked around
My
believing that
spiritual
there was
daughter
life
gave me that.
inside of us, and we continued to share the news, but we did it in a way that people would join us in prayer. Those 2 weeks were very hard for me because on one side I was believing what God had for my life, and also on the other side listening to what the doctors were saying. So it was very hard for me.
So this is the ending. And like I said, I walked around for 2 weeks not knowing what I had, not knowing if the baby was alive or not. And that was intense.
It's not official pardon, but it's baby version. With the little feet. It's so cute, right? I suck at surprises. I hope you like it.
I still have
Oh
them.
man.
I don't know what to say. But that just right pushes me to stand my ground and say that there's life in here.
To the last moment.
His mom, as soon as she saw me, she's like, "You're having a girl." I don't know what it is, but they have said it's a boy.
I thought it was a boy.
It's 2-something in the morning. We just came from a friend's house, and the baby is starving, so we decided to stop by Banana King.
I still spoke like.
I could taste it already. I want nachos. I want Doritos. And he doesn't let me.
Oh yeah, I couldn't have Doritos. They used to trigger my migraine.
He's like, just sit in the car and wait for me to come back. One may think you could get used to this, but me, I can't. Because I am a go, 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 go person. And right now, doing nothing makes me feel useless. But this is the important part right here. So I have to be patient because it's cooking. So it is Monday, July. I don't know what it is. 10th, 11th? I'm not sure, but it's Monday. So, since I have a moment, let me speak to you guys. How have I been feeling? I am very crampy today. We went to Costco and I was feeling a little bit of pain on my ovaries, and I was feeling pain on my left leg, which I find weird. I feel tired. Maybe that's because I didn't have a lot of sleep. That's why I'm tired and sleepy. Other than that, I'm just crampy. That's the word. Crampy. On my way to the hospital.
Here we go. Here we go. All right, before we get into that, as you can see, I was in a battle whether I should get attached or not. I spoke to the baby like it was alive, and then the other side I was just like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to act. It's a very confusing time, but I still tried my best to enjoy my pregnancy allow myself to enjoy the pregnancy as much as possible. Here comes a moment where I'm having a miscarriage, and if you ever have had a miscarriage, I don't know if this happens to you, but since it was my second one, I already knew there's a certain pain that you get on your lower back, and you can never forget that pain. So I remember waking up in the morning and I felt that pain, and I said, no, today's the day. And I didn't want to get up. So all I did was turn to the other side and put my covers over myself and try to sleep a little longer. And it wasn't that I was trying to sleep, I was trying to hold on to the pregnancy that was already finishing. Because you know it, as a woman, you know it. And I knew that that was the end. So, in a sense, I was trying to control the last couple of hours until I couldn't anymore. And I got up to use the bathroom, and everything just came out. Everything. When I say everything, everything came out. And the next clip, I don't remember if I was talking to someone or I actually recorded myself. So we're gonna see right now because I can't remember.
To the hospital because I have severe cramping and bleeding. So, whatever it is, what happened?
I probably shouldn't be doing this like this, but I didn't mention to you the complications.
I don't cry because it's a cry of regret. It's sadness. You can't help but feel sad. It's an emotion that's in us. As me watching, you could tell on my face that I already knew. I already knew that I was losing the baby. And let's just keep going before I continue talking.
4th of July, the weekend before. That's when he wanted me to go. But I said no. And I said to the Lord that I'm going to wait for him, that he's going to do it his way. And I wasn't going to move.
This is me after already
mentally and
having the clean out, and me, Marco Polo. Marco Polo was very it was very famous back then. You know, the video, like you're videoing each other back and forth.
Prayers. Thank you for reaching out.
So we finished. I had a complete miscarriage. Everything came down while I was on the toilet, while I was on the phone with my husband at the time. He was literally on the phone watching me, and he didn't know that I was having a miscarriage because I didn't tell him. To this day, I don't know why I didn't tell him. From the moment I got up from the bed knowing that I was losing the baby till I told him I can't take it no more, we have to go to the hospital, was like 45 minutes. I got up, I used the bathroom, everything was coming out. I was talking to him. Eventually I said I'm gonna go take a shower, knowing that everything was already out. I went and I took a shower, washed my hair. Ask me why I did that. I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps I was trying to hold on to that feeling for a little longer, but I have no idea. I don't have no idea. I just know that I wanted to do everything before I went to that hospital. But eventually the contractions were coming so fast that I had to go. It was not cramping, it was contractions that I was having. So it was a complete miscarriage. The doctors I didn't even have to stay in the hospital. I think I was there for like 3 hours. That experience was a lot better than the first one. The first miscarriage it was horrible. I was in the hospital for 3 days, trying to push a baby who was already dead. But that's a different video. But this miscarriage, it was very different than my first one, because the first one I didn't allow myself to feel anything. Like, as soon as the miscarriage was over, I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want nobody bringing it up. It was just a done deal. But this one I did allow myself to feel everything, to feel all my emotions, and I let them pass me by, because we have to feel those emotions in order to heal. And this is why I could speak about it now. There are moments that I cry. Of course, it's like grieving. You're grieving. You are thinking about someone, or you're thinking about something, and you start to cry. You start to get sad because you are grieving that. And it's not something that I feel every single day. It's just every single time is a miscarriage anniversary, I allow myself to cry. I allow myself to feel that sadness, but only for that day. Other than that, I don't make it something necessary in my life to feel a victim of, because I'm not a victim of that. It's something that had to happen in my life, and it did, and I'm still here, still surviving. Do I have any regrets? Do I wish that I could have done things differently? No. I am happy that it happened the way that it did, and who it happened with, and with all those people that were in my life at that time. And I cherish those moments with all of them, because I needed that support group at that time. I love my church community. I think it's a necessity that we need, because without them, I don't think that this would have been a great healing. But because you have that support group, or at least I had that support group, it just made things a lot easier, you know? And like I said before, if someone is going through a miscarriage or had a miscarriage, there's not much you can say that will fill us. The only thing that we do ask is that you just act normal. Just be yourself, be present. And if you're funny, be funny, please. And thank God that at that time I had a lot of funny people. And I remember coming home from the hospital, and there were already people waiting by our apartment to come and just be a support system. And they were just making me laugh the whole time, which was amazing. That night, we just stayed home. We didn't do much. I know our church was having a special weekend service. We ended up going the next day. Yes, I did go back. I went back to church the next day, because it's my safe place. It's my place of peace. It's just a place that I always need to feel everything that I'm feeling inside. So after watching the video, how do I feel? I don't know if you were watching my face, and I think the whole time I was watching it, I was thinking inside of me, wow, you have healed. Because if I still had pain inside of me, I wouldn't have been able to watch the whole entire video. Instead, I looked at it, and I don't think this is weird to say because everyone has their own perspective on things, but for me it was more like, I'm grateful. I am grateful that I got to experience that. I'm grateful that I got to experience pregnancy. I am grateful that I got to share that moment with my family and friends, and that I got to experience the emotions of telling people, the experience of recording people's emotions, the experience of telling people and us jumping up and down and screaming and crying and praying and just enjoying that, because I know that there's a lot of other women who have never experienced that, will never experience that. So I am grateful. I am grateful that I got to experience that there's a memory forever embedded inside of me. There's no regrets of like, oh my God, I'm 45, you're never gonna have kids. You don't know that. For God, nothing is impossible. Can I become pregnant? Of course I can. Can I adopt? Of course I can. So there's no regrets. I am just happy that I got to experience that. I'm happy. I'm grateful for the season, that trial that I went through. Look at where I'm at now. I went through it, and for everyone who's watching this video on miscarriages, I know what it is. I know how it affects you mentally. I know how it can affect you emotionally. I know how it can affect you physically. So I am the future of what you're going through, what you possibly can go through. You will overcome that moment of feeling sad, that moment of like, wow, how can this happen to me? You can never forget it. You can never forget it. But like everything else in life, time. You just need time for everything. You need time to heal, time to restore yourself. But like me, I have had 2 of them, and now I could sit down and talk about it and say, I did it. I went through that, and here I am. No one ever could give me a word that's going to fulfill that moment, that feeling that you had during that moment. Like when I celebrate the anniversaries of the miscarriage that day, there's nothing really anyone can say to me that will make me feel any better. No. I think what I enjoy more now is the people who want to celebrate that day with me, that will say, well, did you ever start a tradition with your miscarriages? Can I join you? And I actually do have a tradition with my miscarriages. And my tradition, which probably sounds silly to a lot of people, but for me, it was something that I always did. I will have a cookie, is it a cookie sundae? I don't even know. But it's a cookie with vanilla, and it was from Applebee's. Like, I will go to Applebee's and have the cookie with the vanilla ice cream and celebrate that anniversary. Unfortunately, the Applebee's around my areas don't have that dessert anymore. So I will get my own cookie, my own chocolate chip cookie with my vanilla and the syrup and the candle, and I will celebrate that because that's the only way. It's something that happened in my life. It's written in my story, and I want to grieve it. And I grieve it that day. I allow myself to grieve it, and I also celebrate the fact that I did get pregnant. So it's good. It's not a bad thing, and it reminds me of how I have my 3 babies in heaven. I just wanted to share this part of my life because sometimes we don't get to tell our stories. Nowadays, it's very rare when someone sits down with you and says, can you tell me your story? or can you share something about your life? Or even when you have something like a miscarriage, usually I really don't force myself on anyone. If people know that I had a miscarriage, they send them my way. Like, here, Xiomara has gone through a miscarriage, go speak to her. If it's someone who's close to me, like a friend of mine, then, I make it my business to be present in their life. Like I said, sometimes words are not enough. Sometimes words are not fulfilling enough, but just being present is enough for a person to say, okay, I'm here for you. So I just wanted to share this and say, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Yes, their emotions are going to be all over the place, but find yourself. The best advice that I can give you is find yourself a group of people, a community of people that can help you during this time, because mentally it can affect you and your emotions again will be all over the place. But when you're surrounded with people who really, really, truly love you and want to see you come out of this, their presence is enough. Surround yourself with those people. Yes, there are times where you want to be by yourself, and that's of course welcome because you need that time to yourself. But please make sure that you also balance it out and surround yourself with people. If you don't have a group of people, that's why I did this. So you can see me as a person of like, she's good. I want her presence around me. And not only you will have my presence, I have a whole bunch of friends who will also love on you the way that I do. And I also have women in my group who have also had miscarriages, who can also be there and be present. So if you ever need anyone, I'm not even going to say to talk to, but you just want a space where you want to feel safe, just DM me and I can always tell you where you can find me. So thank you for watching this video. If you need prayer, please write to me and I'm here to pray for you. Miscarriages are hard. It takes over your mind and your emotions, and I understand it. So this is why I did this video. I hope that this video has taught you what it is to have faith in God despite everything that's being said around you, which I didn't mention this. The doctor did call me again to go to the hospital. It actually made an appointment for me to go to the hospital to get a D&C, to get me cleaned out. And I refused. I said no. And I didn't do it. I waited those 2 weeks. I waited 2 weeks. I didn't wait actually. I didn't wait 2 weeks. I got to experience my pregnancy for 2 more weeks until the Lord said, okay, that's it. We're going to end this here. So he was the one who opened my womb and he was the one who closed it at the end. And I know probably a lot of people are going to say, I don't know why you believe in a God who can give you a baby and then take it away from you. The only answer that I have to that is I am living proof again, and I'm going to say it. He knows the future and he knows what's the best for me. And here I am, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24. Here I am 7 years later and my life has changed drastically. But he already knew that and he knew what was best for me. So I am forever grateful to him. He knows what's best to me. There's nothing really anybody can say to me that can make me look at God as someone who is selfish or unjust. No, on the other hand, it just brings me closer to him and say thank you, number one, for allowing me to get pregnant. It's going to sound crazy. Thank you for being a gentleman. Thank you for giving me the privilege of allowing my womb to open, to experience pregnancy for a little while, but then you know what was best and you decided you can't have this baby. I'm grateful for that. That's the only thing that I can say, that I'm just grateful for that.